Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning, 8:02 episode. Today, book review. I read a brilliant book called Call Me Ted. It's Ted Turner. He's basically the CNN founder, CNN Cartoon Network and all that lot. He was the founder of all that. It was a wonderful story. How did I first hear about it? I first heard about it from my first million interview with Sam Parr on another podcast. And he was talking about Ted Turner a lot. And he was saying, I want to build a media. I like what Ted Turner did. And that's why I started my media company. I was like, who is this Ted Turner? Never heard of him at all. Ted Turner? Who the hell's that? Looked him up, found the book, and I thought, this could be quite interesting. Especially from somebody, obviously from the UK, I had no context. I had no context how big this guy was. And it went through, it was a memoir, I feel like, from his early years when his dad used to beat him when he got sent away to boarding school. So when he worked with his mum, lived with his grandma. And then after school, he worked with his dad. His dad his dad did really, really well. Billboards, he used to do billboard. It was a billboard company. His dad did so good selling advertising on these billboards, hit his goals. Like the episode said yesterday, hit his goals, killed himself because he didn't know what to do after he hit his goals. So Ted Turner said, listen, this is in the book, he said, whatever you do not set your goals so high. You've got to set your goals so high you can't possibly achieve them. And I love that quote. I absolutely love it. And I was just thinking, I should have done that as a quote of the week, but I've got Alex Harmozy for Sunday for quote of the week. So yeah, and then when his dad died, he took it on and he really grew the business, acquired another business, built it up, and then he was the first one in the world to do 24-hour news. And honestly, listening to Ted Turner, it reminds me a little bit of me because he doesn't sound, two reasons. He's not very professional at all. There's no professionalism in him, which is beautiful. I love it. He goes into meetings and just says what he thinks, and he likes things structured in an easy and manageable way. And number two, the risks he takes with that company when it's on the brink all the time because of cash flow. And you're thinking, oh, the hell are we going to pay for this? And that's exactly like me with self-storage. Not as in the fact that we're on the brink or anything like that, but left to my own devices, this is why I need mentors. Left to my own devices, I would just expand. And it's like when you're playing Risk. I don't know if anybody's played Risk before, when you take over countries, but then you can't defend the countries because you're out attacking other countries. So therefore, you've got very, very few pieces left to defend your countries. And that's what I've got to be careful of with self-storage, not expand so quickly. I haven't got enough capital to defend if anything goes wrong. But talking to Ted Turner, listening to Ted Turner, I was like, oh my God, sometimes you have to take risks. And Dan Bradbury said, no, you never have to take risks. You tell me a billionaire, millionaire who ever took a risk and isn't still a billionaire. And I can't wait to text him. I'm going to say Ted Turner. And we had a little argument because I was in this mastermind. I was saying, listen, you have to take risks. You have to take risks in business. Business is all about risk. And he turns to me and he says, in front of everybody, he goes, Dean, what a load of shit. And I was like, why, Dan? Why is it a load of shit? And he goes, no, but you don't have to take risks. Stop talking like an idiot. And I was like, wow, am I right? Am I wrong? I must be wrong because Dan Bradbury said I'm wrong. And he doesn't take risks. And Dan's in a lot better financial position than me. But will he be in 10 years' time? I very much doubt it. Sorry, Dan. Yeah, I doubt it because we're flying. Anyway, this is just like my little ego competition between me and Dan. And then I'm like, it's not even a competition, Wally. You're not even in the same race. You're in under sixes and I'm in adults race. What are you on about? Don't be stupid. Anyway, and so it was fascinating to listen to the fact that he was opening a new station when he couldn't even afford to pay for his current one because of all the debt financing and stuff. And it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And then he talked about his sailing. He was one of the world's best sailors, which was incredible. He probably was the world's best at one time. It was just a really thoroughly enjoyable story. And then because he got basically sacked and pushed out of his company in the end, and the stock tumbled. So his net worth went from 8 billion to 1 billion kind of thing. And then we talk about when he give 1 billion away to charity. And then we also go through his philanthropy work as well, where he just wants to save the world. He's worried about overpopulation and stuff. And it's a thoroughly enjoyable book. I would recommend this book to anybody. I think it's a great book. It's a massive book, but do you know what? I'll sum it up. Ted Turner equals a life well lived. God. The only problem is that he does say that he wishes he was closer to his sons when he was growing up. He didn't have time with his sons, and also he wasn't the way his dad treated women. He kind of like was a womanizer as well, and he's had like 3 failed marriages. I think it is 2 or definitely. I think it is 3, and he wishes that he was better at that side of it. So. Yeah, a life well lived. Mistakes along the way. Hell, Jesus Christ, we all make mistakes every single day, and he talks about them. Just do you know what people pretend their shit don't stink and judge other people when they make mistakes. Do you know what? If everybody knew your mistakes you make in life, then you couldn't judge. You can't judge people. We all make mistakes, and that's what I loved about this book. He was open, honest about his mistakes. It was just a brilliant book. Really, I really enjoyed it. There's few books, not few books, but there's, you know, when I'm going out for a run and I almost like, I don't even know I'm running. Time's just passed. As soon as I'm finished, I'm like, holy shit, because I was just so enthralled in the book. And that was one of these books. You know, when you're in the movie cinema, you're watching a movie, you're watching something at home, and all of a sudden it ends, and you've relaxed that much that you've been with that person, or you've been involved in the movie so much that time just seems to disappear. And I love it when that happens. And this was one of those books for me. And now I'm searching for another book that does this for me, because it's so relaxing. When I'm driving, I can drive hundreds of miles and not even know I've driven hundreds of miles, because I'm enthralled in this book. I've ran, 10K, and I don't even know I've run 10K, which is brilliant. So yeah. Okay. See you soon, guys. I love you. I appreciate you. Get the book.